Good afternoon. I'm getting the stream ready. They should be back from their lunch break. And I mean the Monmouth County Court, Superior Court, courtroom of Judge Marc Lemieux, with our prosecutors, Christopher Decker and Nicole Wallace, and our defense team of Monika, Mastellone, and Andy Murray in the trial of New Jersey versus Paul Caneiro. A 7-year-old case that, well, if these last few days don't show you that there's a lot here, I mean, there is a lot here. Took a long time for this case to actually get to trial. There were tons of pretrial motions and exclusions of evidence and scope and you name it. It's complicated, but we're seeing it all play out now. And I have to say, the last 2 days' testimony, yesterday and today, actually with concrete evidence. We're not talking circumstantial. We're talking black and white photos of vehicles. We're talking putting you towards the house, disrupting the defendant's alibi completely. And this morning, the last witness, which will be rejoining us on the stand for continued direct, and that would be Captain Brian Weisbrot, who is bringing in the DVR evidence, the emails from the company that were CC'd to Keith, apparently, because he keeps mentioning the emails went to Keith Caneiro. And that's not unusual to have a backup email address or a backup person, but it does look like we're back. So I hear noise in the courtroom. So let us bring the screen up and continue with our proceedings. Heard some rustling. That's usually attorneys and clerks coming in, and then the door will open and Judge Marc Lemieux will appear right on cue.
Okay, good afternoon. Please be seated.
Good afternoon.
Good lunch? Did you pick it up?
Yes.
His own. We got time. We got time before this is all over.
Pizza party.
All right. We're back on the record. State of New Jersey versus Paul Caneiro. It's indictment 19-020283. Can I have the appearances of counsel for the record?
Afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecutor Nicole Wallace on behalf of the state.
Good afternoon, Judge Chris Decker for the state.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Monika Mastellone for Mr. Caneiro's president.
Good afternoon, Judge Andy Murray for Mr. Caneiro.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Caneiro. All right. So we're still in the direct examination of Captain Weisbrot. We're ready to go.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Captain, I think right before the break, we were talking about how 19 Oxford had 2 channels or 2 cameras that you deemed to be potentially relevant in this investigation.
Yes, correct.
Now, can I have S271A? Captain, do you recognize what's on the screen in front of you?
Yes, I do. This is an image of camera 5, which captures the rear property of 19 Oxford Drive in Ocean Township.
Okay, is it light out or dark out?
It's light out.
Okay. Can you see, I know it's a little small, can you see the time that's depicted on that screen, the bottom left?
Yes, 9:00 a.m. on November 19th, 2018.
Okay, so this part of the footage that was obtained from 19 Oxford, camera 5?
Yes, it is.
Can you describe what's depicted in the footage that we see in front of us?
Sure. Again, it's the rear yard of 19 Oxford, capturing the outside deck area, as well as an in-ground swimming pool. And in the back left corner, you can see 27 Tilton Drive, a portion of the house of 27 Tilton Drive.
Just for purposes of clarity, can you identify the northernmost portion of 27 Tilton as depicted in that video?
Yes, that would be the garage, essentially where the garage doors are located. I can direct the market.
Can I ask you to put a box, like a rectangle, in the area of where the garage ends and the driveway begins?
Sure. The left line would be where the garage ends, and then the driveway would extend north.
Now, your particular focus with respect to camera 5, would it have been, or would it be in that, essentially in the area around that square rectangle?
Yes, it would.
We preserve that.
Mr. Douglas, this is S-271. Is this part of A, B, or C?
Sorry, this is S-271. It contains clips of footage from cameras 5 and camera 7 from 19 Oxford. This is A, what's on the screen.
So if I'm going to say S-271 A1.1, we're good?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Captain, can you undo that?
Sure.
Can we run that clip through once? That was a 10-second clip, correct?
Correct.
And again, this is from the morning of November 19th, correct?
That's correct.
Representative sample of what you would see during daylight hours from that camera?
Yes, it is.
Now, if I could have S-271B, this is a clip from 19 Oxford, camera 5, clip with the word leaving in it. Now, I'm going to ask you if you recognize what that depicts.
Yes, I can tell you that this is a nighttime image of the video from 19 Oxford. And if you look in the top left corner of the screen, you will see the area where 27 Tilton Drive is captured.
Okay. And is there a date and time on that footage at the beginning?
Yes, the date is November 20th, 2018, and the time is 2:05:50 a.m.
Can we play that through once, please? Go to 20600 approximately. I may ask you to pause it. We can play that. And is there any light in the area of the driveway?
Yes, there's an appearance of light in the area of the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive.
Thank you. Can you pause it, please? Did you see anything there, Captain?
Yes, there was additional light that illuminated in the area of the garage at 27 Tilton Drive.
Go.
What time did we stop it at?
Sorry, Judge, it was 206:41. Pause it there, please. Can you tell us what you just saw, Captain?
Yes. You can see a pattern of lights near the top area of the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive. Those lights then move from left to right on the screen, backing up. The lights then are seen going right to left on the screen, approaching what is the area of the driveway near Tilton Drive. This is consistent with the vehicle backing up and then exiting the driveway in a forward position after essentially making a K-turn on the driveway.
Just go back to 207:20. Let me slow that down one notch. I'm just going to play a couple seconds. Stop that. Pause that, please. Now, we'll pause at 207:28. Can you tell us what you just saw happen with respect to the lights?
Sure. A vehicle was observed driving down the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive,
Did the lights just disappear?
and the lights disappeared, yes.
Just going to, in a moment, we'll start it. I'm just going to ask you to let us know if the lights reappear. Sorry. Did the lights reappear, Captain?
Yes, they did.
And they then disappear again?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Now, based upon your review of this portion of the surveillance, can you describe the movement of the vehicle?
Sure. You can see the vehicle backing up, making a K-turn on the driveway, exiting the driveway and heading towards the bend in Tilton Drive.
And again, just for context, what's the time right now on the video?
The time is 2:05:50 a.m.
Beginning? That's the beginning of the video, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, we were just talking about the time frame of approximately 2:07:23 to 2:07:30.
Yeah, that's correct. 2:07:34 is when the lights disappeared.
Now, you talked about another camera on the rear of 19 Oxford, correct?
Yes, that would be channel 7.
Did you review footage from Channel 7 as a part of your investigation?
Yes, I did.
Now, I want to show first S271C. Now, before we play that, can you tell us what the date and time is on there?
Sure. The date is November 19th, 2018, and the time is 09:00 a.m.
Okay. So November 19th at 9 a.m.
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell us what's depicted in what's on the screen right now?
Sure, this is an image depicting, again, the rear of 19 Oxford Drive in Ocean Township, covering the back deck area of that home, and behind this home, or essentially in front of here, you can see in the background, a larger portion of 27 Tilton Drive.
Okay. Now, anywhere in what's on the screen right now, does it depict the end of the garage and kind of the driveway area?
Yes, it does.
Can you just put a rectangle or square around that area?
Sure, the garage area and the driveway area would be in this area here.
Can we preserve that, please?
271C1. About 1, I should say.
Once that prints, you can undo that. Can you just tell me how many windows you can see on the top floor of 27 Tilton?
I can see 4 windows.
Could I just briefly have S1A, slide 14? Sorry, Joey. Sorry, Judge, we just have one moment.
Okay.
Captain, you recognize what's depicted in S1A, slide 14?
Yes, I do. It's the rear side of 27 Tilton Drive, showing the fire damage that was sustained to the home.
Can you see the 4 top windows that you described just a moment ago?
Yes, you'll see on the second floor of that house, the upper windows. There's 4 of them that I just previously identified.
Please take that down, please. Can I have, I'm going to ask for S271D at this point. Before we play that, do you recognize what that is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is a image still of 19 Oxford Drive, camera 7, which captures the rear of 19 Oxford and the rear of 27 Tilton as well.
Again, I'm just going to play that video fully through. It's approximately 7.5 minutes. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Pause it for one moment. Did you see lights come on in the screen?
Yes, I did.
Do you know where they came from?
27 Tilton Drive.
Keep playing. Can you pause it for a moment? We're paused at 04:57, 11 seconds AM, correct, Captain?
That's correct.
What did you say?
The first evidence of fire is visible on the left area of the screen. That fire was obviously at 27 Tilton Drive.
Can we minimize that for now? Can I have S271E? E, please. Can you, now, which camera's on the screen now?
This is camera number 5.
Okay, what's the date and time?
The date is November 20th, 2018. The time is 4:08:15 a.m.
Okay. Now, just gonna play it through, and I might pause it at some point. Pause that for a moment. Captain, what did you just see?
Lights appeared in the area of the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive.
Okay, can we keep going now? Can we go to 4:08:40, slow it down one notch? Can we play? Thank you. Captain, can you tell us what we just saw?
Sure. We saw those lights appearing in the area of the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive. After letting the video run, you see a vehicle entering the driveway and parking in the area closest to the garage on the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive.
Can I have S271F, please? Captain, can you tell us which camera this is?
This is camera number 5 at 19 Oxford Drive.
Is this the same camera that we just watched?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and what's the date and time here?
Date is November 20th, 2018. The time is 4:54:01 a.m.
Can we start this, please? I'm going to ask to fast forward just a little bit to go to about 4:57, please, if we can. So I'm at 4:57:01 a.m. Is that accurate, Captain?
Yes, it is.
Is there any light in the video?
Yes, 27 Tilton Drive is illuminated.
Now, going to ask you to play now. Can you pause it? What did you see, Captain?
A large flash of light visible from 27 Tilton Drive.
Now, before we watched camera 7, and you indicated something about the first visible signs of fire, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
How did your observations from camera 7 and camera 5, how are they related?
It's consistent with my first observations of fire activity in the rear on channel 7.
Okay, so right now, again, we're at 4:57:11 on camera 5, correct?
That's correct.
Go back to the beginning for a minute. Can we just play that? Pause it for a second. I'm paused at 4:55:06 a.m. Can you just tell us what you saw there?
Sure. 27 Tilton Drive illuminated in the top left corner of your screen.
Earlier on camera 7 at about the same time, 4:55, did I ask you whether or not there were lights that appeared in the back of the residence?
Yes, that's consistent with that as well.
Can we go to 4:59, please? To 4:59:30. We're 4:59:31 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Can we play that? Thank you. Pause that. Captain, can you tell us what you just saw?
Sure. A vehicle backs out from the top area of the driveway of 27 Tilton Drive, then pulls down the driveway in a forward direction.
And as part of your investigation, were you briefed on police interaction with Mr. Caneiro in the morning hours of November 20th prior to your arrival?
Yes, I was.
And did that include Mr. Caneiro mentioning anything about a vehicle in the garage?
Yes, he indicated that when the family was exiting the home after discovering the fire, he backed the car out of the garage and drove it onto Tilton Drive, where the rest of the family had met him and got into the car.
Can we just continue to play that right now, Steve? Pause it there for one moment. Pause at 0501 and 2 seconds AM, correct?
Correct.
Can you slow that down one notch and just play? Pause that for a moment. Go back, same speed, a few seconds. 501.17. You can stop it there. Captain, could you tell us what you just saw?
Sure. There was a large flash of light that was visible in the driveway garage area of the residence. That would be the northeast corner of the home.
That happened before or after the vehicle left the garage and went down the driveway?
Right after the vehicle drove down the driveway.
No, I have no further questions.
Okay. Ross?
Good afternoon. Captain?
Yes, Captain.
Capt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so just let's take ourselves back to surveillance at the location of 27 Tilton. You testified that there were 8 different surveillance cameras that you noted, right?
That's correct.
And a number of those were connected to the QC DVR system, right?
Yes.
At least one of the cameras from that QC system was inside the garage, right? But there were other cameras that were affixed outside of the garage.
That's correct.
And they looked out onto the driveway area of 27 Tilton.
Yes.
Now, obviously, as part of this investigation, you reviewed all the DVR footage from that system, correct?
Correct.
And that included not just images captured in the morning hours of November 20th of 2018, but also images that were captured the day before on November 19th of 2018, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm just going to show you what we've marked. This is D1-200. I'm going to approach that.
Sure. Is there any objection to this?
No, Judge, sorry.
You can publish it if you want.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to put this on the screen here. Captain, can you see that image clearly?
Yes.
And we see that that is camera 2 of it. it says on the screen, it's camera 2.
Camera 2, yes.
You recognize that to be the driveway of 27 Tilt Drive?
Yes.
And we see a white vehicle in that photo?
Yes.
That's the Porsche Macan that you've testified about?
I believe it's the Porsche Macan, yes.
The one that had what appeared to be, at some point in the morning of the 20th, a burn mark on the hood, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, this, we confirmed, I believe during your testimony, that the DVR, the QC DVR system was 1 hour slow, right? 1 hour fast.
It's 1 hour fast, yes.
Right. So we would imagine that the time listed on this photo would also be 1 hour fast, correct?
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay. But it was taken on November 19th, 2018, right?
Correct.
And it appears to be obviously during daylight hours.
Yes, it says 16:07:18, if I'm saying that correctly.
And we see inside, we can see through the front windshield of the vehicle inside the vehicle a little bit, right?
Yes.
And we can see hanging from the rearview mirror what appears to be a handicap placard.
There's a placard hanging. I can't tell you that it's a handicap one, but I do see a placard hanging, yes.
Okay. Maybe if I were to show you a different image. Oh, I'm sorry, just because. Yeah, sorry, just to confirm, the time listed on the image we're looking at now is 16:07 and 88 seconds.
Correct, that's how I see it.
Okay.
It's blurry, but that's what I believe
Yeah.
that's what it says.
Yeah, apologies. I'm going to now publish a different image. This is image D1-201. Now, that is, this 201 obviously appears to be taken from the vantage point of the same camera we were just looking at, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And so this appears to be the driveway again, even though it's dark of Tilton Drive, right?
Yes.
And again, we're seeing the vehicle that appears to be the white Porsche Macan, right?
I mean, it's difficult to identify the vehicle, but if it's consistent with what you just showed me, yes, I believe that to be the Porsche Macan, based on where it was parked. The other image obviously was a lot clearer.
Right.
Considering this is at night.
But obviously the vehicle appears to be in the same place relative to the camera.
It does, yes.
And the date on this photo is November 19th, 2018.
November 19th, 2018, and the time is 19:10:54.
What we see more clearly though in this photo is that the object hanging from the rearview mirror in the car is a handicap placard.
Yeah, that I can see it clearer in this photograph. It looks like it's a removable tag, one that you can take down and put back up, as you would need to, or somebody who has a handicap placard would do, but it appears to be a handicap placard, one of the removable, yes.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Now, the vehicle, the Porsche Macan,
Yes.
is ultimately going to be the subject of one of your requests to search on the morning of November 20th of 2018, right?
That's correct.
And you stated that initially, as far as that search is concerned, you were looking for evidence of potential fire damage, right?
Correct.
We know, though, that Detective Cattelona, who documented and inventoried the search of that vehicle, also took pictures of the passenger interior part of the vehicle, right?
Yes, you do.
And we know that anything that was, it wasn't just the engine compartment, but photos were taken of the trunk, right, of the back seat of the vehicle, right?
Yeah,
Photos were taken.
the vehicle needed to be photographed in its current state as we found it, yes.
And then photos, and then anything of potential importance was removed from the vehicle and documented, or would have been documented accordingly.
That's not accurate. There was nothing taken from the vehicle. It was simply just examined visually and photographed.
Have you seen all the photographs?
Yes, I have.
And you know that handicap placard is not hanging from the rearview mirror in any of the detective's photos.
That vehicle was photographed and searched on the 20th, and the photograph that you showed me depicting a handicap placard was on the 19th, so it was the day before, and as I previously explained, it's removable. Whether or not the photo, I don't recall seeing the placard on the 20th, but obviously I did see it on the 19th, I'm answering your question.
Right. So, but as of the 20th, you would agree with me that placard is no longer apparently in the vehicle.
I would actually ask to just see a photograph of it taken on the 20th, just so I can confirm that, but I don't believe there was one, no.
Okay. I'm going to show you two photos.
Sure.
And clarify that right now. So, okay. Can you see that clearly?
Yes, I can. And now that I see this photograph, I can confirm that there is no handicap placard visible.
That was, and that's, just for the record, that's D1 210. And that was a photo taken on the 20th of November, correct?
I can't confirm that. I believe it was obviously taken either on the 20th or days after. I don't know. You can put it back up. I see the security tape, the yellow security tape that remains. Whether that photograph was taken on the 20th or within the days after, I can't say for certain because there's no date on it, but that was obviously during the course of our investigation.
Okay. And the photo was obviously, as you understand, taken by law enforcement, correct?
Correct. It was taken by Lieutenant Cattelona.
And after what you described today was that Mr. Caneiro, Paul Caneiro, when this fire was taking place at 27 Tilton, got into the car that was parked in the garage, drove that down to the street, and so that he and his family would have a place to wait while emergency personnel responded.
Yeah, they got into the Porsche Cayenne.
Right. And after Mr. Caneiro and his family got into the Cayenne, they went from essentially that location on the street to the Ocean Township Police Department, right?
Yeah, they moved the vehicle several times in the street before ultimately traveling to the Ocean Township Police Department in that car.
Right. But the car we're seeing in D1210, that's not the car that they were sitting in.
That is not the car.
This is the car that was parked in front of the garage area the entire time, right?
That's correct.
And this is the car that when you were explaining to Mr. Caneiro you were going to search it, this is the search of the car that you're saying he wanted to be present for, correct?
That's correct.
And while he may have been allowed to be present for the search, you weren't going to let him conduct any part of that search himself, right?
No, that was a crime scene. It wasn't safe for him to be up alongside the vehicle. There was evidence on the ground and around the vehicle. So he was required to stay, a short distance away.
Okay. So after you responded to the scene that morning, there wasn't a time when Mr. Caneiro was in this vehicle depicted in D1-210, correct?
No.
And nor would he have been able to access that vehicle because of law enforcement activities, correct?
Correct.
And then after going to Ocean Township Police Department, Mr. Caneiro was once again unavailable to access this vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
And so if there's no tag in this after the 19th of November, we are not able to say for sure who or why it was removed from the vehicle or by who, correct?
That car was a loaner car from the Porsche of Monmouth in West Long Branch. I have no information regarding whether the Porsche of Monmouth, a car dealership, would put a tag on a loaner car. I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay. You don't know the answer to what the loaner policy is for the dealership, but what we do know is that obviously in a still image from the night before at around 7 o'clock on camera, the placard is hanging from the rearview mirror, right?
We're talking now about the handicap placard or the license plate?
The placard.
Oh, the placard. On the 19th, there was a placard based on the photograph that you showed me, yes.
And on the 20th, there isn't one.
There is not one, no.
Okay, thank you. Now, we saw video from 19 Oxford Drive, and that's going to show what appears to be flashes of light coming from the left hand, depicted from that video, the left hand portion of 27 Tilton Drive. Right?
Yes.
And those flashes of light, we now understand are a fire, correct?
Yes.
And that fire actually was determined to have originated in the well area of the basement window along the, I think you refer to it as the CD side of the house.
Yes, so the CD corner In fire communication language, structures are identified alphabetically by A being the front of the house, B being the count in a clockwise motion, B being the left side of the house, the C side being the rear side of the house, and the D side being the right side of the house. That's just for so that all fire personnel and law enforcement can communicate properly as to a location of a home. That CD corner translates to the southeast corner of the property.
One of the things noted about that location was that there was a basement window located there at that fire origin point that was broken, right?
That's correct.
And actually the glass of the window was what was broken, correct?
Yes.
And the glass was broken inward, meaning that there was glass that had fallen into the basement, right?
That's correct.
That's a fact, in particular, that you noted in your police report, correct?
That the window was broken. I did note that, yes.
And that the glass had fallen into
Yes.
the basement, right? You noted that fact.
I don't specifically recall if I documented that in my report, but I know that to be true, yes.
Okay. And the combustible gas detector was brought to that location of the basement window?
Yes, it was.
And the purpose of the combustible gas detector is to detect for combustible fluids?
Flammable liquids, yes.
Okay. One of the reasons why that might have taken place, obviously, is there was a gasoline can found on the scene near the garage of the house.
Yes, and there also was a very strong odor of gasoline present in that location.
So when you say in that area, so by the window well of the basement where the fire originated, there's a very strong odor of gasoline?
Yes.
Okay. And there were other sources, there were other origins, it would appear, of fire that morning as well, such as by the garage, correct?
There were 3 separate origins of fire at that house.
When you were in those other areas of origin, the garage area, you noticed some, I would imagine some burn marks, what appear to be burn marks near the base of the garage door.
That is correct.
Okay. You also had indication that might have been the result of combustible fluids.
Yes.
And you could smell those there as well.
Yes.
And you're going to have a few conversations with Paul Caneiro that morning, right?
I spoke to him 2 times that morning.
You're going to talk to him about consent to search the vehicle that might have been damaged by the fire, right?
Yes.
And you're going to talk to him about consent to search the DVR system that was in the garage.
Yes.
In both of those occasions, Mr. Caneiro gave you consent to do that which you were requesting, right?
Yes, you did.
And obviously, when you go over those forms, you want to make sure that people are fully advised of what their rights are, right?
Of course.
And you want them to know that you're asking for their consent because that search, according to the form, if it's going to happen according to the form, needs to be voluntary, right?
Yes.
And And a person needs to be able to make that choice whether or not to agree to it of their own free will, right?
Correct.
And they also need to know that they have a right to refuse the search, and they have a right to stop the search at any time if they become uncomfortable with it, right?
That's correct.
And if a person signs a consent form and says, you know what, Captain, I'm not super comfortable with this. I would rather not do this. You're going to immediately stop the search, right?
Absolutely.
And the most important thing for you in these situations, I would imagine, is to make sure that you're honoring people's rights and wishes about the search that's going to take place, right?
That is correct.
And I'm sure you did that in this case as well.
Absolutely.
And so we have no reason to believe that Paul Canero's consent was anything but knowing and voluntary, right?
That is correct. It was knowing and voluntary.
And we have no reason to believe that he didn't understand, let me strike that. Obviously, he knew full well he had the right to refuse and the right to stop the search at any point in time, right?
That is what he was told, yes.
And he not only did he agree to the search of the vehicle, but there never came a point in time where he said, I want to shut this down, I want to stop this, right?
He did not know.
And it remained consensual and voluntary the entire time you performed that search.
Correct.
Referring to the search of the DVR system. Again, it's the same form for a different item of interest, right?
Yes.
And again, there's no question that Mr. Canero knew very well that he had the right to refuse if he chose, right?
That's correct.
And he, regarding that search, after the fact, never told you at any point in time, actually, I changed my mind.
He never did know.
Right. And so his decision to allow you to search that was voluntary and knowing, and it remained so the entire time, correct?
Correct.
A further point with the DVR system is actually that you were not going to search that item at the location of 27 Tilton. You were actually going to take that to the Ocean Township Police Department, right?
Yeah, that's because we needed power to be able to access it.
Sure, but obviously, in order to do that, you have to physically take the thing from the property and take it to the police station, right?
Yes, that's what we did.
And because it's so important to have Mr. Canero's consent about these issues, you had to tell him ahead of time, look, we're going to take this thing to the police. We're not going to search it here. We're going to take it to the police station, right?
Yes.
And we're going to look at it there.
Yes.
And he was fine with that.
Yes, he was.
He didn't raise any objection to that happening, right?
He did not know.
So I'm guessing that obviously this wasn't the first time, getting to this location was not the first time that you smelled gasoline in your life, right?
No, it's not the first time.
But on scene, it was very clear to you that it was present in various areas of the home, right?
In 2 areas, no.
And there were investigative measures taken to detect for the presence of those combustible fluids, such as the gas detector that we talked about before, right?
That's correct.
There was also a police dog who was brought to the location at some point who was trained to detect combustible fluids.
That's correct. That was a dog from the State Fire Marshal's office.
Okay. At any point in time, was there any testing done of Mr. Canero's skin or hands to see if there was a presence of combustible fluids?
No.
Was there ever a point in time where there was an investigation of whether Mr. Canero's clothing contained the presence of combustible fluids?
don't believe so, although I'm not the individual that would be able to say for certain. I would have to speak to our forensic bureau on that.
Referring specific, because I know there were items collected as part of search warrants in this case, but referring to the clothing Mr. Caneiro was wearing the morning that you responded to 27 Till.
Again, I don't believe so, but I'm not the person to answer that question. I don't know with any certainty.
Your report obviously is detailed in the sense that it indicates all the investigative activities that you took part in over the course of this case.
Yes.
Up to a certain date, I would imagine, because I believe that you've had continued involvement in some aspects of this case through 2025. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
And that would be things like maybe serving subpoenas for witnesses, right?
Correct.
And perhaps participating in witness preparation sessions.
I did, yes.
And prepare. So those witness preparation sessions are the purpose of them. Obviously, is to prepare a witness for what it may be like for them to testify in court, right?
Yes, review statements, review their involvement in a case, review their observations, things of that nature.
And we're talking about an investigation that took place, November 20th of 2018. It took place a long time ago, right?
7 years ago.
And a lot of these witnesses in the case were spoken to by law enforcement all the way back then, right?
Correct.
So one of the things that's important to do with witness preparation is give witnesses an opportunity to review their prior statements, right?
That's correct.
And because that can help them refresh their recollection about what happened back then, right?
That's correct.
And that's the thing that you participated in this case, right?
I did at times, yes.
And witnesses, in your experience in engaging in witness preparation, obviously, sometimes witnesses say exactly what they initially said to the police, and sometimes witnesses say something different than what they initially said to the police, right?
Subjectively speaking, I suppose. Are you asking me specifically about a particular witness in this case?
Well, I'm asking you, I suppose, this. From what I can tell from your report, you spoke with, and this is back in November of 2018. You spoke with John Harrington.
Yes.
And you also spoke with Heather Capt, right?
I did, yes.
And those were both residents of the Tilton Drive area near 27 Tilton, right?
They both lived across the street from 27 Tilton.
And obviously they both provided you with statements about what they knew or heard or anything of that nature that was relevant at the time, right?
They did, yes.
And they were both cooperative with you, right?
Yes, they were.
And then did you, I don't know, but we can inquire, I suppose, did you participate in both of their or either of their witness preparation sessions?
Both of them.
Okay. And obviously, when a witness, during a witness preparation session, says something materially different than their previous statement, that would have to be documented in some fashion, right?
Yes, in this particular case, it will be documented in their statement that they provided.
Well, okay, so let's take a step back. A witness gives a statement in a case, right?
Yes.
Later on, same witness, case is now going to trial. Same witness comes in to give a witness preparation statement, to get interview, right? They're in for the witness preparation interview. They have an opportunity to review their statement, right?
Correct.
They might say the same thing about the case, or they may say something materially different than they originally said in their statement, right?
Perhaps that's true, yes.
If they say the same thing, great. If they say a materially different thing, then that would have to be documented, right?
We would, of course, follow up on the information that they were now providing. And yes, we would document it.
So then I take that to mean that when you participated in the witness interviews of John Harrington and Heather Capt, they told you essentially the same things that they had said all the way back in November of 2018.
Yeah, I don't believe, and I don't recall that they provided any inconsistent information that would warrant us to do any additional follow-up or reporting.
Okay. Now, what I also understand from your report is that you spoke with a person by the name of Paige McManus.
Yes, I did.
That was a Tilton Drive resident.
2 doors down from the Caneiro house.
Andrea Rain.
Andrea Rain from, I believe, Green Grove Road, 306. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes,
You spoke with Marilyn Klein,
I did, yes.
who was a neighbor.
Next door to the Caneiro house.
You spoke with Kyle Brees and his wife.
I did not speak to them. Detective Brady spoke to them. We made efforts to speak to them. We knocked on their door several times.
Other than the people, and I know you also spoke to people other than residents of Tilton Drive. But in terms of the residents of Tilton Drive that you spoke with, the neighbors, did I miss anybody other than John Harrington, Paige McManus, Andrea Rain, Marilyn Klein, the Breeses, or Heather Capt?
I believe you covered all of them.
Okay.
That I was involved with, yes.
Okay. All of those individuals lived in proximity to 27 Tilton Drive, right?
That's correct.
Tilton Drive itself is a horseshoe type of street, right? There are two separate entrances to Tilton Drive.
That's correct.
And the people to whom you spoke about this case were concentrated on one end of that horseshoe, right?
That's correct.
And that would be the 27 Tilton Drive end of the horseshoe, right?
Yeah, the north side of Tilton Drive.
So your investigative efforts didn't extend out to speaking with people on the other side of the Tilton Drive horseshoe, right?
My efforts personally did not, but other detectives did.
Okay.
But if you're asking me for my involvement, no, I did not go outside that immediate area surrounding 27 Tilton.
Okay, yes, thank you. I was just asking for what you personally did.
Okay.
Now, during your testimony about the video surveillance, I believe you had said that you saw it. This is in the video from the garage in the morning of November 20th. You saw a figure at the bottom of the screen, and then you said that the DVR system was turned off, right?
Yes, I saw a individual walk into the garage and walk towards the direction of the DVR, and then the screen went black.
Now, do you know, when you say the screen goes black, do we know how that DVR system was positioned before you arrived at the location?
I know where the DVR was located, and I know where the police officers from the Ocean Township Police Department had secured it. I know where it was located. If you come downstairs from the mudroom into the garage and you make a right-hand turn, mounted above the cabinets and the refrigerator and the safe area that I previously described. The DVR system was up there.
But by the time you got there, the system had already been unplugged and officers had engaged with it.
That's correct.
And you didn't have, when you got to the scene, you didn't have a vantage point prior to it being manipulated in some fashion by other officers.
No, the only thing I was privy to was the officers from the police department were able to show me where the DVR was located.
Right. But prior to your arrival, you don't know if that DVR system was plugged directly into a wall or plugged into a power strip or something like that, right?
I don't have that information now.
And if the DVR system is going off at that point that you referenced in your testimony, we don't know if that's because the power is being pushed off on it or the power is being pushed off on a power strip or something being unplugged. We don't know.
The only thing I know is from extracting the data contained on the DVR, power was terminated to that unit. How it was terminated, whether somebody unplugged it, pushed a switch to turn it off, I don't know.
Right. Or unplugged a power strip, right?
Correct. I don't know that.
Or turned off a power strip, which it's not known.
The power was terminated to the DVR.
The other camera that you had mentioned, one of the cameras that you had mentioned during your testimony was the doorbell camera at 27 Tilton, right?
Yes, I did.
And that camera, you actually were able to view the last activity on that camera.
Yes, October 15th of 2018 at 8:01 p.m.
Okay. So as of the day you got to the 27 Tilton location, that doorbell camera hadn't registered any activity for 5 days.
Correct.
And
From the 15th through the 18th, through the 20th, I'm sorry.
through the 20th,
Yes,
right?
that's correct.
Were you able to, in your walkthrough of the house, and you were looking at the evidence in this case, were you able to view the various access points, wireless access points that existed inside the house?
I don't understand your use of wireless access points. What is that? What are you referring to?
Access points for the Wi-Fi network in the house.
I know there was a lot of electronics that were hardwired into that home, and they were all located in the unfinished section of the basement against the north wall, essentially underneath the garage, where the garage area would be.
Okay. Did you happen to see that there were Wi-Fi access points throughout the house, though?
I don't know.
Okay. Showing you, this is D1-203. Can you see that image clearly?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Do you see in the space on the dresser, directly above the drawer of the dresser, there's a white circular object?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize that to be an access point connected to, or it's connected to the internet for the home?
I don't know what that device is that you're asking me to look at.
Okay. Right. Did you see other of these devices when you were in the home?
I spent a lot of time in the home. I don't specifically have any recollection of internet access points. I know the home, to answer your question, no, I have no recollection of placing any focus or emphasis on any Wi-Fi access points.
Okay. Okay. So what I take that to mean it wasn't really the focus of what you were doing in the house.
At that point, when I was in the house, no. And again, I don't know what that item is that you're pointing to there.
Mm-hmm.
I do know the house was equipped with a femto cell in replacement of a router. Where it was located, I don't know. I know it looks similar to it, what a router looks like, but I don't have any specific details on it.
I just took it from your statement just before that when you were in the house, you were not specifically looking for things like Wi-Fi access points.
Ultimately, eventually we were on the day of the fire. That was not our focus, but we ultimately had returned to the home and brought computer crimes personnel in, and they specialize in electronics.
I see.
And they would be the ones that would be looking, observing, and having information pertaining to the various electronics.
I see, because they're the ones that have the expertise in what these devices are and how they operate.
They would have, yes, much more experience and knowledge than I would.
So you would rely on them to determine what in terms of technology was important to look at inside the home.
That's correct.
Okay. And you would rely on them for determination of how these things operated in conjunction with one another, right?
That's correct.
Okay. The second fire that we saw on the video surveillance from 19 Oxford Drive,
Yes.
it took place a little after 5:01, and when it was about 5:01 and 17 seconds.
I don't recall the specific time, but you're in roughly the time frame, yes.
And you identified, obviously, that area where we saw that burst of light a little after 5:01. That was the garage area of the home, right?
That's correct.
And I think when we see that bright light, the fire there at after 5:01, we have some confirmation of that in the form of what appears to be burn marks on the hood of the Porsche Macan, right?
Yes.
And what appears to be burn marks in the area of the garage door.
Correct.
And we know there is apparently a can of gasoline tipped over near that area, right?
Yes.
And I think in your, you had, one of the things that you were doing, I think, in terms of your investigation was trying to determine how it is that fire started the way that it did, right?
Sure. I was interested in knowing. There's 3 separate points of origin. I was interested in knowing how they started.
And I think that you you said in your notes that it was possible, or you were wondering whether that fire at the garage started, the 5:01 a.m. fire, whether that started as a result of the gas can being thrown.
Possibly, yes.
Right. Obviously, if that fire started by a gas can being thrown, somebody would have had to have been there to throw it, right?
Yes.
And to confirm, when you took the DVR system to the Ocean Township Police Department that day, you had a detective who was specialized in surveillance come to take a look at the system, right?
Yes.
And that was a person whose last name was Valenti.
Correct.
And obviously they were there because they had some expertise in the matter of operating the system and retrieving footage from it, right?
That is correct.
And then when other things were done in this case in terms of if there were cell phone extractions or searches of computers, you had computer technology specialist investigators who could assist with that, right?
Yes, sir.
And there's actually, one or more of them was actually a member of the computer crimes unit, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And I should also just confirm with you, sir, that the Ring doorbell camera footage that you watched from 27 Tilton, I believe you testified that you watched that from Susan Caneiro's phone.
I did, yes.
And she showed that to you voluntarily, obviously.
She provided consent in the same fashion as Mr. Caneiro signed consent via a uniform consent form.
And you also took a statement from Susan Caneiro at the police department.
Yes, I did.
Judge, if I could just have a minute.
Sure.
Judge, could we just approach very briefly?
On break. Why don't you take your 15-minute break right now? And then what we'll do is after we finish this witness, I'm going to give you another break, but I'm going to give the 15-minute break now. I'm feeling giving.
Appreciate it.
You're feeling it, aren't you, all of you? All right, we'll discuss this case on doing research. I'll bring you back out around 10 after. Great.
Okay. Heading into another break this afternoon. And testimony is going to continue with Captain Brian Weisbrot of the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office Investigative Team. And the evidence is really coming out today. We'll continue after the break.
You have to sit there. Take a breath. We'll see you 15.
There are rumblings in the court, so we're coming back. Right on cue.
I got you. Told you.
Usually you knock and you just.
Yeah, I know. We gotta change it up. Captain, if you could just do me one favor. When you're speaking, if you could just speak a little bit louder for me, if you don't mind. Thank you. We'll continue on with our cross-examination.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Going back to the video of the fire at the garage shortly after 5:01. I just want to take us through the timeline of the events in that video and make sure we're clear, okay? You testified today that in somewhere in the area of 4:59 and 50 seconds through 5 a.m. and 8 seconds, we see a vehicle back out of the driveway of Tilton Drive, right?
Yes, I don't have the exact times up in terms of like seconds, but that's roughly the time that you're saying, yes.
Okay. And then that vehicle, we can see it appear to proceed down the driveway, right?
It backs, turns the wheels to the right, and drives down the driveway.
Now, that would be consistent with the information you received about Paul Caneiro taking Susan's car, backing it out of the garage, and taking it down the driveway to the street, right?
Yes, it would.
And then the indication was that the family, Paul, Susan, and the daughters, waited in and around that car while law enforcement and fire personnel did what they needed to do and responded to the scene, right?
Yes, they were inside and outside the car throughout different periods of time.
A portion of that same video was played for you starting at 5 a.m. and 1 minute. And I believe you said about 17 seconds into that video, we see that bright light at the garage, right?
Yes, again, I don't have the exact times in front of me, but yes, we did see a bright light after the car was moved down the driveway.
So obviously that bright light takes place after the car leaves, right?
Yes, it does.
And it would appear, based on the timing of that video, that it's a little over, somewhat over a minute after the car leaves the driveway. Would that be fair to say?
I don't know the exact time without seeing the specifics.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, F. I believe what Mr. Mayor wants, 271.
Camera 5 at 4:59 and 50 seconds.
Okay, 271F.
Would we be able to play from there forward? Are we seeing in the upper left corner of the screen the car appearing to back out of the garage?
Yes, that's correct. Now the car is now driving down the driveway.
Okay.
And the time is 5 o'clock and 10 seconds.
pause there? Immediately before we paused, did we see a flash near the garage area?
Yes, the flash was near the garage driveway area, and the time that it's paused is 5:01 and 29 seconds.
So, I believe the
A minute,
time.
a minute and 20 seconds later. You see the flash.
Now, the morning that you responded, you had two conversations with Mr. Caneiro, you mentioned, right?
Yes.
And during the course of the conversation about the DVR system, he had mentioned to you that he was experiencing Wi-Fi connectivity issues.
He did mention that, yes.
Okay. Is that among the reasons why the search of the home for electronic devices became relevant over the course of the investigation?
Not entirely. The Wi-Fi related issues that he was explaining had nothing to do with the QC DVR system. It had everything to do with the Ring doorbell at that time that he was explaining the connectivity issues. There were a whole host of other reasons why we were interested in examining the electronics in that home.
Okay. But obviously, you were talking about his surveillance systems with him that day, and one of the things he mentioned to you was that there were Wi-Fi connectivity issues.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you also said previously that you did not personally get involved in any interviews or searches for surveillance of any of the residents on the other side of the Tilton Drive horseshoe, right?
I did not. Other detectives did.
Do you know who those detectives are?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you like to know that? Sure. It was Sergeant Edwin Henley. It was Detective Christian DeVito. It was Detective William Anton from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office. And it was Sergeant Patrick Martin, Detective Jesse Orbach, and Detective Michael Melody from the Ocean Township Police Department, and Detective David Siderakis from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office Electronic Surveillance Unit had also responded to extract the video recordings from the pertinent addresses.
When you say to extract the video evidence from the pertinent addresses, which addresses are you referring to?
308 Green Grove Road and 30 Tilton Drive.
Okay, so but both of those are on the same side of the Tilton Avenue.
That's
The
correct.
Tilton Drive horseshoe is 27 Tilton,
That's
right?
correct.
And if I'm trying to take us to the other side, the other entrance to Tilton Drive, was any surveillance collected from that end of Tilton Drive?
There was no pertinent video surveillance from that side of Tilton.
But you did not yourself go out to canvass for any video on that side?
I did not.
Okay. And we know that your interviews, we know that your witness preparation interviews with Heather Capt and John Harrington, in your estimation, were consistent with prior statements they made to you, right?
As far as I know, yes. I wasn't present.
Which would make potentially the time period of 4:30 in the morning on the morning of November 20th relevant to this investigation, correct?
Based on the information that they provided, yes.
Specifically about men in the street around that time, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Redirect.
Detective Captain, you just asked about trial prep interviews with witnesses, correct?
Yes, I was.
You got asked about Heather Capt and Jonathan Harrington, correct? Were you present for both of those?
Yes, not both at the same time, but I was present, yes.
Good point. They were met with separately, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now, based upon, the way you were taught to investigate crimes over the course of your career, you meet with people that provide you information. Do you try to change that information, or do you let them tell you what they observed?
We would never change the information that they provide.
Whether it's helpful on its face or not?
No, we follow facts and evidence, and regardless of the direction that evidence takes us, we document it and we pursue whatever avenue we have to go.
Now, you were asked some questions about how Mr. Caneiro, I believe, told you about some Wi-Fi connectivity issues the morning of November 20th, 2018, correct?
Yes,
And you referenced the doorbell camera, right?
yes, I did.
Why is that?
Because there was a Ring doorbell fixed to the home, and in conversation with Mr. Caneiro, that's when he had indicated that he was having Wi-Fi connectivity issues. The Ring doorbell operates via Wi-Fi, while the QC DVR system did not operate via Wi-Fi. That was a hardwired system.
Do you know whether or not above the area where the DVR was located, whether or not there was some associated power supply box?
Yes, there was.
Just going to show you what the mark is. S418418 identification. You recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is the QC PowerMax regulated camera power supply box. It's a metal box that has key access, and you can open a front door panel, similar to like a circuit breaker box.
That control power controls for the QC DVR.
Yes, it does.
I have nothing further, Jeff.
I just have a brief redirect on one issue, Jim.
Okay.
You just testified that when you spoke to Caneiro about the Wi-Fi connectivity issues, it was specifically in reference to the Ring doorbell camera.
That would be the reason why there would be connectivity issues with Wi-Fi. The QC DVR system doesn't operate via Wi-Fi.
Right, but that wasn't exactly what I asked. What I was saying is you just testified that when you spoke to Caneiro and he talked to you about Wi-Fi connectivity issues, it was in reference to the Ring doorbell camera.
That would be operating via Wi-Fi. That's why I said that.
Okay.
Wi-Fi didn't impact the QC DVR system.
I just want to make sure that this is something that you just testified to, that when you talked to Caneiro that morning about the Wi-Fi connectivity issues, that conversation was in the context of the Ring doorbell camera.
When that conversation came up when we were talking to him about the video recording equipment that was at his house. So because the QC system doesn't operate on Wi-Fi, I believe that it was directly related to the.
You believe that,
Yes.
but you said in your report regarding this conversation, Paul reported that he periodically turns off the surveillance cameras as he suspected that the system had been causing his Wi-Fi system to run slow.
I did document that, yes.
Okay.
The
Surveillance cameras.
correct. He told us.
So not the Ring doorbell, but the surveillance cameras.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what was in your report, right?
Correct.
And that's a different thing, a different system that you're referencing in your report than the Ring doorbell camera, to be
Sure.
clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's a conversation about the surveillance system causing the Wi-Fi system to run slowly, right?
That is what Mr. Caneiro told us, but what we determined to have no impact on his Wi-Fi.
And so you, again, though, had an opportunity to see some photos of areas inside the home where I think you were not certain of the devices that I was showing you, right? You didn't know what they were, if they were or were not connected with the
No, I didn't.
wireless internet, right?
I did not know.
And you actually brought in various people throughout this investigation because you yourself are not a specialist in that area, right?
Correct.
And obviously, as you were talking to Mr. Caneiro that morning, you were not a specialist at that point in time either, right?
I was not, no.
And it was obviously somewhat of a technical conversation that you were having about Wi-Fi connectivity causing the systems causing the Wi-Fi to run slowly, right?
That's what Mr. Caneiro told us.
And clearly, I think there was some even confusion that you still had about the issue because today you thought it was a reference to the Ring doorbell. But clearly, when you wrote the report, you believed it was a reference to the wired surveillance system, right?
I learned that the camera system was not operated, the QC DVR system, I learned that that was not operated via Wi-Fi. When we had transported the DVR to the Ocean Township Police Department, and we learned that it was a hardwired system.
You learned that from talking to the Detective Valenti, right?
Correct, yes.
But the thing is, what that doesn't explain is how that system is capable of being accessed by a person's cell phone, right?
That's correct. The owner of that system could have an application that could provide him with access to view the recordings, but it has no bearing on the actual communication from the camera to the DVR. That is a hardwired system that is not operated or powered or supported by Wi-Fi.
Right. But the communication between that system, right, and other devices such as phones and computers runs over the Wi-Fi network.
That's correct.
Okay, so there is regardless of whether a system is hardwired at some point or not, there can be other points along that chain where that system interacts with and is carried over, information is carried over Wi-Fi, right?
I didn't follow you with that.
Well, that's how you would get the information on your phone from a hardwired system, right?
You can have an application that can communicate with the DVR.
Right.
Yes.
Via Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Right. So the system can interact with Wi-Fi, obviously, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Via a cell phone.
But today, you thought that you guys back then were talking about a Ring camera.
Yes, because at the time that I had the conversation, I was not aware that his QC system was not operated via Wi-Fi.
I'm just saying what you said today. Today, you thought you were talking about a Ring camera, right? But back then, you thought you were talking about the surveillance, the hardwired surveillance system. Do I have it right? Or not?
Maybe if you would allow me to see my report and I can refresh my recollection of what I documented, maybe I'll have a better understanding of what you're asking me.
Oh, I'm not asking you about what's in the report. I'm asking, did you say today that you thought that conversation was about the Ring camera?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
But clearly, it was not. Right. Am I wrong?
It was my understanding that we were discussing his connectivity issues with the Ring camera. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. Despite the fact that.
Counsel, we've heard this about 12 times now. We're not going to keep going over it. Despite the fact that the prosecutor hasn't gotten up, he's answered this. That's his answer. Whatever, right or wrong, that's his answer. You can argue it.
Did you see anything? You obviously went through these various emails to look for those reports about the Nest cameras, right?
Yes, they were provided to me.
They were provided to you?
Yes.
Was anything provided to you showing regarding a crash report for the QC DVR system?
No, I had sent a subpoena to QC requesting information regarding any service requests or issues that would have been reported to them from the homeowner.
I'm just gonna show you what's marked D17. It's D117. Have you seen that before?
No, I don't know what this is, sir.
You haven't seen that?
I have not seen that, no.
Okay. So when you said you got responsive documents from QC about the system, you didn't get this, right?
No. So the reason why I had subpoenaed records from QC was it was reported to us that Mr. Caneiro had advised that he was having problems with his QC DVR and that he had a, quote, ticket in with QC. So we were obviously interested in seeing what he had reported to QC requesting technical assistance on that system. So I had served a grand jury subpoena to QC. I was then contacted by an engineer with QC who queried their systems, and they had no record of Mr. Caneiro or anyone living at 27 Tilton Drive reporting any concerns with that DVR.
Well, do you know why then there would be an indication that the system crashed at 10:54 at night on November 19th, 2018?
I don't know. I don't know if that came, I don't know where you obtained that report from because I have not seen that.
Well, I guess then you haven't, I'm going to take that to mean you haven't seen all the discovery in this case, right?
That could have been part of the extraction from the DVR, but that was not received from QC directly, no.
Okay. But have you seen all the discovery in this case?
No, I have not.
I see. And so you, again, to answer the question, you wouldn't know why there would be a crash report from 10:54 on November 19th from QC. The answer to that question would be no, right?
The answer to that question is QC did not provide any reports or records regarding any information. In fact, I received communication from them saying they had no records to provide and documented that in an email to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Based upon that recross, which was outside the scope, I'll allow the prosecutor if he has any other questions.
No, Judge, I don't have any further questions.
Okay. Captain, you can step down.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you.
Wow.
Give you my word.
Thank you.
Now, that was very long, and I don't think it got anywhere. We're taking another break. The judge is obviously very annoyed with questions that go nowhere and questions that are repeated and answered, no matter how many different ways you answer. What was that Judge Lemieux said just a minute ago? That's the 12th time you asked that? Even if the prosecution isn't saying anything, Judge Lemieux certainly was. Giving jury another break. I don't know. I guess he's going to check with everyone. I don't know if he's going to go on with another witness or if he's going to let them go for the day when they get back, but we shall see. We've got some really good, hard evidence here today, and defense is really trying hard to move things around. But trying to confute things that aren't there, like bringing in Wi-Fi when it's a hardwired device is, well, that's just trying to convolute the facts with something that's just not true. And I can understand why the judge was getting a bit annoyed. You know, they're doing their job. As annoying as it is, they are doing their job. Okay, we'll be back after the short break. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about the testimony today. Because wow, just wow. I do hear, and here he is right on cue again. We'll see what's after the afternoon, what's left of the day.
Last leg of the day. Got it in you?
Fourth quarter.
All right. I like to hear
Snacks.
There you go. Prosecutor?
Thank you, Judge. The state calls Lieutenant Nick Cattelona.
Okay, we're going to go with witness number 25.
Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Can you state your full name for the record and spell your last name, please?
Nicholas Cattelona, Cattelona.
All right, great. Thank you. Prosecutor?
Thank you, Judge. Lieutenant, can you tell us where you work?
Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office,
Okay. And approximately how long have you worked for the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office?
approaching 14 years now.
Okay. Did you have any law enforcement experience prior to joining the Prosecutor's Office?
Yes, I did.
And where was that?
Long Branch Police Department.
What year were you hired at the Long Branch Police Department?
I was a regular police officer in 2001. Before that, I did a couple years as a special law enforcement officer.
Approximately how many years total do you have in law enforcement at this time?
28.
Now, what capacity did you work, or when you left the Long Branch Police Department, what capacity were you working?
When I left the police department there in Long Branch, I was a detective in forensics.
Now, what year did you come to the prosecutor's office?
2012.
Okay, in 2012, did you have an initial assignment?
Yes, I did.
Where was that?
Crime scene unit.
Okay. Have you continuously worked in the crime scene unit since then?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your duties as a crime scene detective?
Sure. As a crime scene detective at the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, we're charged with strictly dealing with physical evidence. So physical evidence is any tangible item of evidence that helps either prove or disprove any point of contention. So the evidence that we typically handle is like weapons, biological evidence, hair, fiber, things of that nature. But also part of that is how to actually process a crime scene. So we're tasked with identifying, collecting, documenting, preserving any item of evidence that we identify. That's a gist of what we do.
Now, as part of your duties as a crime scene detective, were you asked to respond to a location in Ocean Township on November 20th, 2018?
Yes,
Where was that?
27 Tilton Drive.
Okay, and did you respond there?
I did.
Do you recall approximately what time you got there?
Say 8:06 in the morning.
Okay. Now, can you just tell us briefly about the environmental conditions upon your arrival?
Sure, I recorded the ambient air temperature at about 43 degrees Fahrenheit. The cloud was cloudy. The ground was damp. There were brief periods of very light rain throughout my time at 27 Tilton Drive.
Now, on arrival, did you speak to any other, police officers or fire officials? I don't want to know what was said, but did you speak to other law enforcement?
I did, yes.
Now, what was the purpose of that?
It's just to get a general idea of the information that they obtained at the time. So basically, basic call information, what type of call they were investigating, because it was a residential fire. Was the fire still active? Things of that nature.
Okay. And moving forward just a little bit for one brief minute, did you document your actions as part of this investigation in any police reports?
I did.
Okay. Was it one report or was it more than one?
Multiple reports, but my initial report covers this.
Your initial report, I'm sorry.
Covers this, my actions here at 27 Tilton.
Just going to show you what's been marked as S-129. Just going to show you that. Ask if you recognize what that is.
I do.
What is it?
It's my technical report.
Okay. And does that summarize the majority of your crime scene responsibilities at 27 Tilton?
Yes.
In Ocean Township?
It does.
Now, you have it there. I would just ask that if any point you need to refer to it for any purpose, you would just let us know, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, could you just generally describe 27 Tilton as you found it on November 20th, 2018?
Sure. It was a two-story residential structure. It was located on the east side of Tilton Drive, just south of a bend in the roadway that bends west to Green Grove Road. It was actually situated slightly north of a T intersection of Walmart Terrace. It was facing west. The front door was facing west. It was tan siding, had an attached two-car garage to the north side, had an in-ground pool also on the property.
Okay. Did you note any scene security type measures upon your arrival?
Yes.
What was that?
It consisted of crime scene barrier tape. It's just the yellow tape that's marked around the front. And then they were marked Ocean Township police cars throughout the scene. and uniformed police officers.
Were there any fire issued vehicles there?
Yes, there were.
Now, would it be helpful to you to utilize photographs that you took in order to explain some of your initial actions at 27 Tilton in Ocean Township?
Yes, it would.
Just before we start there, I'm just going to show you what's been marked previously as S1 identification. And specifically, I'm going to go to subsection A, which indicates 27 Tilton Drive, Ocean Township scene. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you just take a quick look through those photos? Try not to rip pages off. Now, do you recognize these photographs?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
Those were photographs that I took at 27 Tilton.
Are they all your photographs?
They are.
Now, I just want to start by showing you S1A slide 3. I'm sorry. Sorry. Now, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It's a photograph of the front of 27 Tilton.
Okay. Does that look substantially similar to the way that you found it upon arrival?
Yes.
Okay. Now, slide 4, please. Recognize that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Can you tell us what's depicted in that?
So this photo is a photograph of the driveway from where I'm standing in the roadway, where it meets the roadway, and facing east up the driveway. In it, you'll see 3 vehicles.
To be clear, upon or shortly after your arrival at 27 Tilton, did you do a full walk around of this scene?
Yeah, so typically, when I arrive at scenes, right after I observe the environmental conditions and do what we call the field briefing, where we meet with the initial responding officers, I do a scene survey. It's a brief walkthrough. I put my gloves on, and then I just walk through the scene, make any observations, come up with a game plan of how I want to process the scene. Once that's done, then I do a series of overall photographs which capture the scene as I found it before I do any work. And that's where this picture begins to depict.
Okay, so based upon the photographs we've begun to look at, you've already walked around and done a scene survey
That's correct.
at this point in time?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can I have slide 5, please? What does that depict?
So this is, I guess, 3/4 of the way up the driveway. Towards the house to the right of this picture would be where the 2-car garage is. To the left is trash cans. Directly in front is a row of hedges where you see a black aluminum fence. That is the fence that circles the pool. And then a little bit farther beyond that is the shed.
Next slide 6, please. What's that show?
And that's just slightly turned to the south. That's just a 2-car garage. You'll see a Jeep Wrangler Sahara immediately to your right of the picture. Directly ahead is a white Porsche convertible with a red top. And then beyond that is a Porsche Macan.
Now, as part of your scene survey and photographic documentation, do you look for things like cameras on the exterior of a home?
Yes.
And in slide 6, can you see any?
Yes.
Okay, and where, could you describe where they are?
Sure. It's on the front-facing corner, right where the downspout is for the gutter, right of the garage, I guess, with the closed garage door, slightly above it, and then to the right, right above the downspout, you'll see a white camera with a dark-colored face on it.
There's a stylus up there, Lieutenant. Can you just circle the cameras you see in that photo?
So there's actually 2 here. One's there, and the other one is right next to it there, just on the other side of that downspout.
Do you see another camera on the opposite side of the garage?
Yes.
Can you circle that? Can we please preserve that?
I think this is 6.1. So this is S1A slide 6.1.
She didn't take it off.
Okay.
Next slide 7, please. Lieutenant, what do you see?
It's just a straight-on view, same position, directly up the driveway to the hedge.
Okay. Can I have slide 8, please? What do we see here?
So now this photograph's in front of the house on Tilton Drive, facing northeast. You'll see the Jeep in the driveway to the left. You'll see the two-car garage just past the trait. And then now slowly, these series of photographs are like a series of overlapping photographs capturing the front of the house.
Next slide 9, please. What do we see here?
This is the front of the house. The front door is underneath that decorative balcony. You can see the raised masonry front porch, the door right behind it, and then that decorative balcony.
Slide 10, please. What do we see here?
Again, pretty much the same position, just turned slightly more to the southeast. You'll see in the neighbor's driveway next door two fire department vehicles. I believe that second one's a fire department vehicle. And that's just, again, another overlapping series of photographs.
Okay, slide 12, please. What do we see here?
So this is at the southwest corner of the property, right by those fire department vehicles I just spoke about, facing northeast.
And then slide 13, please. What do you see here?
So this is the south-facing side of the structure. You'll see an aluminum fence where it continues to block off, I guess, the rear yard area.
And slide 14. What do we see here?
This is the rear or the east-facing side of the house. You'll see a raised deck with a staircase directly in front, leads to two doors on the upper level. To the right of the two doors is the deck transitions to a lower level, and then there's another door there. To the left of the picture, you'll see all the fire damage.
Now, during the course of now that you're walking around to photographically document your observations, do you look for any utilities?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and what are we talking about when we say utilities?
Mainly the gas and the electric meters on the exterior of the house.
Now, is that important because the nature of the cause of structure fire?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can I have slide 21, please? Okay, do you recognize that photo?
Yes, I do.
What is that showing?
So that's showing the southeast corner of the house, where the photograph is focusing on is just behind that bush is the gas meter and a basement window well where there's significant fire damage.
Okay. And slide 22, please. What do we see here?
Okay, this is the almost directly in front of that basement window well. I'm taking a photograph of the window well and the area surrounding it. You'll start to see on the left of that window piping that is that goes into the gas meter.
Okay, slide 23, please. What do we see here?
That's the gas meter, and that's directly behind that one hedge that was in front of it.
Now, talking about, can I slide 15, please, sorry. Now, as part of your examination of this scene, are you looking to determine entrances to the structure?
Yes,
Okay, and how many were located in the rear of the backyard?
there were three.
Okay, can you just explain or describe those for us?
Sure. The one to the left of the picture are French doors that lead into the dining room. The one in the center behind that tall umbrella is the sliding glass doors that lead into the kitchen. And then the deck again transitions down right next to the grill, where that one single door that leads into the mudroom.
Now, we have this, let's just go in order. The French doors that enter into the living room area, did you examine those?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you go about examining them? What's the purpose?
Well, the purpose of it is to determine if there's any damage to them, if the locks are intact, operational, or if there was any signs of tampering. In this particular case with this door, the locks were operational. I did not observe any sort of tampering or any damage to it other than the visible fire damage.
Now, I'm sorry.
No.
When you look at doors like that and you're looking to see if there's any damage, I think you said that you didn't observe any damage, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you look for anything else observationally as far as potential points of things that you need to process?
Yeah, I would look at it for the presence of friction ridge impressions, fingerprints. Usually with exterior surfaces that are unprotected like this, use a high-powered light. What I'm looking for initially is what we call surface disruption. So usually, like I said, on the outside unprotected surfaces, a layer of dirt and debris would tend to build up. You could see if any interaction were taking place by the absence of dirt or dust with the disruption of the surface. So,
At that location, those doors there into the living room, did you locate anything of potential evidentiary value?
no, I did not.
Now, moving on to the sliding doors that go into the kitchen, did you conduct a similar visual examination there?
Yes, I did.
And did you identify anything of potential evidential value from a fingerprint perspective or the like?
No, I did not.
Okay. And then as far as that final door all the way to the right, that's just the door into what room you said?
The mudroom?
Okay.
It's the space between the kitchen and the garage.
Okay. And did you locate any, signs that there may be potential evidentiary value there?
No, I did not.
No fingerprints could be visually examined?
Again, all three doors worked as designed. The locks were operational, no signs of forced entry, no tool marks, no anything of that nature.
Did you, as for these doors, did you encounter, or did you make observations or document in any way whether or not they were locked or unlocked upon the way you found them?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what was the status?
They were all unlocked.
Unlocked, you said?
Yes, at the time that I was there, they were all unlocked.
Now, I just want to ask you a question. So you're not the first person at this scene, correct?
That's correct.
Was there a presence of many people before you?
Yes, there was.
Now, so everyone understands, you're documenting what?
The condition of the scene as it was when I arrived there.
Now, you mentioned previously some more utilities and specifically an electric meter, correct?
Yes,
Did you encounter an electric meter?
I did, sir.
And is it the general area of where it was located, is it depicted in slide 15?
Generally, yes.
Okay. And where would it be, just if you could describe it?
So if you have the northeast corner of the garage area, that lower portion, the single-story portion, to the, I guess, the left of that downspout of the gutter would be that general area.
Okay. Now I'm going to show S1A slide 16, please. Do you recognize that?
Yes, I do.
What's that photo show?
That is the electric meter.
Is that the way that you encountered it, obviously?
Yes.
Can I have slide 17, please? You recognize what that is?
Yes, I do.
What does that show?
That is the electric meter without the actual meter being present.
Okay. Did you receive any information upon arrival regarding whether the power had been shut off at the scene?
Yes.
And was it?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And is that a normal occurrence based upon your experience at a fire scene?
Yes, it normally occurs at residential fires where the gas and the electric company are automatically dispatched also with the fire department.
And when we talked about the gas earlier, was it the same situation?
Yes,
We shut off.
shut off.
Now, can I have slide 18, please? What's that show?
So that's a tamper-proof tag that the electric company installs whenever they access the meter. They'll cut it off. They'll do whatever they need to do. They'll close the meter box again and then replace it with a new tag with the serial number on it.
Okay. So just to be clear, was the meter itself present at the scene that morning?
No, it was not.
There's slide 16 again. Just for purposes of continuing and completing your photographic documentation, where does that area there lead?
So that is a gate that leads between, that allows access between the driveway and the rear yard.
Can I have slide 24? What does that show?
So that's a photograph of the same area on the other side. This is the driveway now facing south through that gate. You'll see the two levels of the deck that I was mentioning earlier. Right down below, you'll see the number 1 This particular photograph was taken after I collected that item, the gas can that we saw. So that's why that's there, and it's not in this picture. And then to the right, you'll see that open garage door.
Now, I want to belabor it because I think we've seen the vehicles, but did you take note of and did you document photographically and ultimately in the police report your identifications of vehicles that were present in the driveway?
Yes, I did.
And you talked about it a little bit earlier. Now, you talked about the gas can, correct?
Yes.
When you got to the scene November 20th, 2018, and you were briefed by other officers, had you been advised of the presence of that gas can?
Yes.
Okay. Was that, based upon what you were told and what you saw, was it any significance to your investigation?
Yes, it was.
Just going to show you slide 30, if I can. Do you recognize that photo?
Yes, I do.
And what do we see here?
So you'll see the white Porsche 911 convertible in the foreground. Behind that is the Porsche Macan. Directly in front of where the gate is, you'll see a red gas can, and you'll see the open gate to the backyard.
You know, as far as timing goes, you talked about previously that yellow tent marker with the number 1.
Yes.
Now, what are those used for?
Those are used in crime scene processing to indicate like a visual orientation. They don't signify any sort of sequence of events or any particular order. They're just help draw your attention to something in the picture that we want you to look at.
With the exception of that photo we looked at with the 10 marker, is it fair to say that these photographs we've looked at so far were taken before any evidence was physically seized or taken?
With the exception of that previous photo, yes, that's correct.
Now, just so we understand, you identify a piece of evidence, and when you ultimately make a decision to take it, how do you go about taking it?
So I mentioned earlier about my overall photographs. When I'm done completing my overall photographs, then I'll go through and start focusing in on items that I want to collect or certain areas. Then I take a series of mid-range and then ultimately close-up photographs of it. And those photographs are just like they said, a little bit closer and then ultimately up close individual item that I'm collecting. And then from that point, it's the physical process of taking that item and then securing it.
Now, did you physically examine that area that's depicted in slide 30 around the garage door?
Yes.
Now, did you identify areas of damage in that area?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And can I have slide 27, please? Can you talk about what you see in photograph 27?
Sure. At the threshold of the garage, where the garage meets the driveway, you'll see like white powder. That is consistent with a chemical fire extinguisher powder. Just to the left of that, you'll see like a black mass on the ground that turned out later to be a burnt glove, a black nitrile glove. You also see fire debris up the siding and the track ground level.
Now, you said that the black mass ultimately turned out to be a black nitrile glove. Can you tell us how you ultimately discovered that?
Sure. I inspected it. I didn't understand what this melted mass was, so I moved it, and then once I turned it over, I saw what appeared to be a glove.
Okay. Can I have slide 28? Do you recognize that?
Yes.
What does that show?
So this is that same photograph of the garage. I had manually lowered the garage so I can document the damage to the exterior of the garage and the threshold, the bottom side. And then you'll see in the center of the picture is that black mass I was referring to earlier.
Okay. I have slide 30? I'm sorry. Wrong one, slide 29, sorry about that. What do we see here, Lieutenant?
So that's the weather stripping at the bottom of the garage door. And then the far left corner of that, unfortunately not the greatest picture, but you will see some charring.
Now, in that specific garage door area, did you notice any damage that spread away from the garage door area?
Yes,
Did you document it?
I did.
Can you have slide 31, please? What do we see here?
So that's the front of the Porsche Macan that was parked directly in front of the gate next to the garage.
Is there anything visible in front of the vehicle on the asphalt?
Yes.
Can you point that out?
Sure.
Yeah, if you could do it with the stylus, that'd be great.
Yeah, so just below, I guess, the driver's side fender area is this area directly on the blacktop.
Can I preserve that, please?
That's 1A, slide 31.1.
Slide 32. And do you recognize what's depicted in slide 32?
Yes.
What is that?
So they appear to be like burn marks on the hood of the Porsche, along with some other scratches.
Now, based upon conversations with other officers, were you ultimately directed towards that shed that you earlier referenced?
Yes.
And what were you going there to look for?
So I went to go look initially for footwear impression.
And why was that?
Officers had observed one on a slate tile directly in front of the north side of the shed. They had covered it with a white plastic bin to protect it. So I went over there to document that.
Next slide 34, please. Do you recognize that area?
Yes.
Okay, now, you talked about the shed earlier, correct?
Yes.
And what we could see in the earlier photo was the front side or the back side?
I would call it the front side since it's facing the pool area. So I would call it the front, and then this side, I called it the rear or the back.
Okay, so to be clear, slide 34, as you discussed this, you're going to call that the rear of the shed.
Yes.
And that's because the front side faces the pool.
Yes.
So that would be the front, and it's got a little nicer door structure.
Yes.
So now, though, on slide 34, we're looking at the rear.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a white object in that photograph, correct?
That's correct.
And what does that represent?
That would be the bucket that was put over to protect the footwear impression.
Did you ultimately inspect that, what that's covering?
Yes.
And what, if anything, did you find?
I found nothing there.
So you were told there was a footprint there, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and ultimately you wound up going over there, lifting the bucket and not seeing it, correct?
That's correct.
Did you take photos ultimately of like what was underneath that bucket?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, did you that's what you were told about, correct?
That's correct.
Now, did you continue to do any inspection of that shed area on your own?
Yes, I did.
Okay, can you tell us what, if anything, you located or where you went?
For in relation to this photograph, up that ramp, just to the left of the door on that ramp, I found another footwear impression. So I photographed that.
Okay, had anyone pointed that one out to you?
No.
You located that?
Yes.
No. Can I have slide 35? Do you recognize that photo?
Yes, I do.
What's the photo of?
It's the footwear impression that I observed, and then the bottom right-hand corner is the scale. For reproduction purposes, if I had to reproduce this photograph on a 1-to-1 scale, that'll help me be able to do that.
Was something done with that at a later date, or did anyone else look at that?
Yes.
Were you able to determine any identifying features of that footprint at any time?
No.
Can you talk about other observations in the shed other than the footprint?
Sure. I opened up the rear door of the shed, and I saw what appeared to be a visible or patent fingerprint.
And just to be clear, if I have slide 34. Is that the entrance to the shed that you're discussing now?
Yes.
I have slide 36. What do we see there, Lieutenant?
So that is what I perceive to be a fingerprint or handprint. Really, I observed like 3 looked like finger marks. So I scaled it and photographed it. And then I visually examined it for potentially preserving it.
When did you do that?
Right there.
Okay. Did you do anything with it later?
While I was on scene, after I did this, I examined it there and I was unable to observe any identifiable friction ridge characteristics. So those are characteristics in fingerprints that allow me to compare it with other or known fingerprints for identification purposes.
Can I have slide 37, please? What's that photo show?
So that's just on the inside of that rear door, floor level. There are 3 gas cans.
Okay. Now, at some point later in your investigation, did you find any other gas cans in that shed?
Yes.
Okay. Where were they in relation to these ones?
On the opposite side, the front side, there were 2 larger ones.
Now, the ones that we see in slide 37, are they all the same size? Are they different? Are they the same brand or are they different? How is the context of that?
They all appeared to be different sizes and different brands,
Different shapes?
different shapes.
Now, there is an area that there's an opening there, right?
That's correct.
And did you make any visual observations of that opening
I
in
did.
relation to other evidence?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
That space was approximately the same size, width-wise, as the gas can I found in the driveway.
Now, after your photographic documentation of the shed and the stuff, footprint and the potential fingerprints, did you receive anything from Ocean Township police officers?
I did.
And what was that?
It was a QC DVR, a Fortinet switch, and assorted wires that they recovered from inside the garage.
And once you got that from the Ocean Township Police Department, what'd you do with it?
I secured it in my crime scene unit vehicle.
Was there a point in time that morning later where you turned it over to someone else?
I did.
And who was that?
That was now Captain Weisbrot.
Were you advised as to where the DVR had been at least generally recovered from?
Yes.
Where was that?
That was located inside the garage near the southeast corner.
Can I have slide 120? Do you recognize that photo?
I do.
What's the photo of?
So that's inside the 2-car garage. That's a photograph of me facing, taken of me pointing the camera southeast in the northwest corner of the garage.
Is there a camera in that photograph?
Yes, there is.
Can you circle it?
Yes.
Can you preserve that, please?
This will be a 120.1.
I think, just for clarification, I think it might be 0.2. I think Captain Weisbrot might have circled the same thing. I'm sorry.
You know, he identified, but
Yes.
he did? All right, so 120.2.
Now, I think we've seen the photos of the outside, kind of in their totality, correct?
Yes.
At least we've seen different portions and angles of this house, correct?
Yes, sir.
Was there a point in time when you went into the interior of the home?
I did.
Okay, and what was the purpose of doing that at that
To document the basement.
Okay, why the basement?
Evidence collection was looking to get started by the fire marshals outside near that basement window well. I wanted to document the condition of the basement specifically near that window well on the interior side in case anything were to fall in or any sort of anything would impact the interior.
Can you tell me, like, generally how you got to the basement?
Walked through the front door, through the foyer, made a left through the small hallway. The stairs to the basement were right there. Went downstairs.
Once you enter the basement, are you in an area that's finished or unfinished?
As soon as you get to the basement, the bottom of the stairs, you are in a finished or partially, in this particular case, a partially finished area where there were obvious signs of construction.
The basement directionally, finished versus unfinished. Can you tell us what east versus west?
So the finished side was predominantly the west side of the house. The unfinished side was the east side. So as soon as you go down those stairs, the unfinished side, there were a pair of French doors immediately to your left. Once you go through those doors, it's unfinished. It's all household storage, things like that.
Can I have slide 85, please? You recognize that?
Yes.
What's that show?
So those are the stairs I was just referring to that go up to the first floor. The to the left is the finished side, but in a state of construction.
Okay, so where I'm standing right now, I'm looking at the photo and I'm looking at the staircase.
That's correct.
And which direction would the unfinished side be for me?
The unfinished would be on your right.
Okay. Are there doors right there?
Yes, there are.
Can I have slide 87, please? What do we see there?
So this is just a little bit farther down the finished side towards the, as we're, I guess, traveling north now through the basement. You'll see the staircase to your right, and then that's like an unfinished theater room.
Okay. And the area on the right side of the photo, is that like underneath the stairs?
That would be underneath the stairs.
Can I have slide 89, please? What's that show us?
So that's inside that room. Now I'm actually facing towards the rear yard east, and that's just the wall that was there.
Okay.
And then you'll see to the right the staircase that goes upstairs.
Okay. And then in that photo, up to the top of the photo to the left would be walking into the unfinished side.
Yes.
Slide 86, please. And what does that show?
So that is, I believe, the staircase is going to be to the immediately to my right and then facing the front of the house, so west.
Those are a variety of photos that show the finished side of the basement.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, I want to talk about the unfinished side. Can I have slide 91? You recognize that?
Yes.
And what's that?
So that's the unfinished side of the basement. That is pretty much the center of that area directly as soon as you come inside those doors facing north.
Okay.
So the exterior wall would be to the right, and that would be the rear yard.
Can I have slide 91? I'm sorry, 105, please. What does that show?
So that's, again, right inside the doorway into the unfinished area. Directly ahead, you'll see that open window towards the top of the photo. That is the basement window well that's right next to the gas meter. Just below that, you'll see metal shelving, various household debris that's melted and burned. You'll see a dresser. You'll see fire hoses right in the center. Those were from the outside coming in.
Okay. So just outside of that little window in 105, is that an area of interest for you on the exterior of the home?
Yes.
And the gas meter would be out the window to the right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you do anything forensically, or do you seize anything in the basement?
At this point, no. It's just photographic documentation.
Did you seize anything upstairs on the first or second floor?
Not at this time, no.
Was there a point in time when you went outside the residence again?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the purpose of doing that at that time?
To collect items of evidence of the exterior.
Now, was there somewhere in particular that you started?
Yes.
Can I have slide 25? And what are we looking at there?
That would be the gas can.
Okay, now, when you're going outside potentially to collect this gas can, is that when you put the evidence marker down?
Yes.
And the number 1, does that have any, what does that mean?
Just for visual orientation purposes, it doesn't indicate anything other than this is the first item I'm collecting.
And when you collected that item, did you make any specific observations about it?
Yes.
Okay, what did you observe?
I observed that it was partially full, and that the tip of the nozzle was partially melted.
Did you ultimately collect it?
Yes, I did.
How do you go about collecting items of evidence like this?
So after I'm done with my photographic documentation, then I would make sure I have clean gloves on, and then find an appropriate container size-wise that would handle this. So it would be an unused paper evidence bag, and then I would pick the item up, place it in the bag, and then seal it for transportation and mark it.
Okay. Just gonna approach and show you what the mark is. S155. You recognize that?
I do.
What is that? And how do you know?
So it's got my handwriting on it. It's got my case number, my evidence number, and a tag that was ultimately placed on it after it was entered into our evidence management system.
And do you describe the nature of this gas can?
There's a description of the evidence that's inside the bag.
Did you document the size of it?
I did.
And what was the size of it?
So initially, when I first collected it, I thought it was a 2-gallon can. Once I brought it back to our office and was able to inspect it a little better, I determined it was a 1.25 gallon can or a 5-liter gas can with a burnt nozzle and containing 48 ounces of liquid. Is how I ultimately described it.
Now, just to be clear, is this full of gasoline right now?
No, it's not.
Okay, how come?
After I measured it, how much gasoline was in it, I reserved about 2 ounces for testing purposes, and the rest of it I discarded.
Could I ask you, I'm assuming you want to put on gloves, but could I ask you to open the bag?
Sure.
I was just asking you to briefly take out the gas can. Can you just point out and describe the damage that you identified to the gas can?
It's going to be at the tip of the nozzle right here.
And as we are here today in court, is it fair to say that there is evidence of burning on the tip of the gas can?
Yes.
Okay. You can
Put it back.
Yes. Now, can I have a slide, I'm sorry, S1A, slide. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Now, you talked, we were just talking about the gas can, we were talking about that area of potential fire damage on the garage area. Did you also utilize, or did you also visually inspect or do anything with respect to the area near the basement well window and the gas meter?
Outside of photographic documentation, I just assisted the fire marshals in collecting their evidence.
Can I have slide 41, please? Just so we understand, what's depicted in that photograph?
So there's going to be 4 areas of evidence that we collected. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 would be soil samples. One of them is an actual soil sample that we want to be tested. Another one would be a control sample. So 2 would be a soil sample near the gas meter. 3 would be the control for that. 4 would be a soil sample within that basement window well, and 5 would be a control sample for that.
Okay. And those soil samples, were they preserved by anyone?
Yes,
Who were they preserved by?
I mean,
How did you do that?
each sample was secured individually in an unused paint can and then sealed and marked.
Now, going back to the area of the garage where you found the gas can with the burnt nozzle, can I have slide 43? I think we've looked at this general area previously, correct?
That's correct.
Is there something different about this photograph?
Yes.
What's that?
So that's the burnt nitrile glove that I collected that was in front of the garage. It was that black mass before when I said I flipped it over to see what it was. That's what that depicts.
Okay, can I have slide 42?
It was moved from its original location to photograph it.
Okay. What's depicted in slide 42?
That's it turned over. It's a shot of the photograph of the glove facing straight down.
And is at this point in time and in this orientation of that item that you determined to appear to be a black nitrile glove?
Yes.
Show you what's been marked as S156 for identification. I'm going to show you what's marked as S156 for identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And how do you recognize it?
I recognize it. It's got my case number on it. My handwriting's on it. My evidence identification number. Read all.
You don't have to read it all. I mean, ultimately, what is that?
That is the burnt nitrile glove. Evidence marker number 6 is how I described it.
Okay. And that what was depicted in that last photograph that we were looking at?
Yes.
The last series of photographs?
Yes.
Okay. And is your evidence markings on there?
Yes, along with the markings from the state police.
Okay. How do you know they're markings from the state police?
It's got their lab number from when I submitted it is written on it.
Okay. So this is something ultimately that you said was submitted to the New Jersey State Police
Yes.
Forensic Laboratory?
Yes, sir. Could I make a comment about the way that that's packaged?
Yes,
For trial.
that's a good point.
For trial presentation purposes?
Was this the way it was initially packaged?
All the contents of these individually wrapped plastic bags were. So this nitrile glove was placed in this paper bag. When it was sent back, or sent to the lab, it was returned with the lab markings on it. But in preparation of trial, so we can, because it's got a lot of debris and obviously falling apart, so we could handle it and be able to just show it to the jury here. I packaged it in this clear plastic so everybody can see it without it getting all over the place.
Now, is that the only item that was packaged in a somewhat similar manner?
No.
Okay, and again, just for purposes of the jury be able to see it?
Yes.
Now, the area we were just talking about, near the garage and where that glove was found, was any control samples taken from there?
Yes, there were.
Next slide 44. All right. You recognize that?
Yes, sir, I do.
What does that show?
So item number 7 depicts the area of debris that I collected where the fire took place. in that corner. I guess that's the northeast corner of the garage threshold there.
Okay. Can I have slide 45, please? What does that show?
And that's going to be the area that I collected inside the garage underneath that blue tile would be the area where I collected debris as a control sample.
Just to be clear, I mean, it may be obvious, but just the sample versus the control, they're taken on different areas. And why is that?
So in this particular case, item number 7 is the area where the fire was suspected to have occurred. Item number 8 is an area where we know fire did not occur. So we can control, we could take, when we test both samples, we could see what if there's anything maybe natural that would indicate anything. So it's just an area where the lab can have unaffected sample.
And was there a point in time after you collected the glove, the gas can, and the samples that we've just discussed, where you were tasked with documentation of the Porsche Macan?
Yes, sir.
And where did that actually happen?
That happened right where it was parked at.
Okay. And why was that done?
Just for documentation purposes of the damage to the car. I wanted to ensure that the only damage done to that car was just to the exterior hood and that it didn't penetrate the interior engine compartment or any other parts of the car.
Now, just briefly, can I have slide 47, please? What are we looking at here?
That would be the driver's side rear passenger compartment of the car, of the Macan. That's outside looking in with the door open.
Okay. And slide 46, please. What do you see there?
That would be the driver's side, actually the driver's seat of the Macan in the driveway. Same thing, door open so you can see visibly inside the car.
Slide 48, please. What does that show?
That's the real cargo area of the Macan.
And slide,
Closed.
I'm sorry, slide 49. What's that?
And that's under, with the rear cargo area open, there's like a decking. That's with the decking lifted up just to see that there wasn't anything there.
And can I
Damage there, I should say.
I'm sorry. Slide 50, please. What do you see here?
And that's the Macan's engine compartment, hood up, just photographing as it was.
And slide 51, please. What does that show?
That's some sort of defect to the lower, I guess, the lower bumper of the Macan, I guess, front passenger side.
Now, just to be clear, during the course of your photographic documentation of the Porsche Macan on November 20th, 2018, did you identify any potential evidence? Did you seize any potential evidence?
In relation to the Macan, no.
Was there a more thorough search that ultimately wound up happening the next day?
Yes, there was.
Now, is there a point in time after you were done with the photographic documentation of the Macan that you re-entered the residence?
Yes.
And why was that?
Just to continue the documentation of the damage inside both the first and the second floors and search for any potential items of evidence.
And how did you enter the home?
I believe at that time to the garage, maybe.
Did you ultimately observe the front door and the foyer area and everything?
Yes.
Can I have slide 52? So what are we looking at?
So that's the front door outside looking into the house.
Okay, slide 53?
Obviously, I started there.
You were obviously in this area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have slide 54? What are we looking at there?
So that's as soon as you go through that front door, there's a small foyer area immediately to your right would be like a living room. And that's in the farthest, I guess, the south west corner looking northeast.
Okay. And previously, when you were outside or you were discussing the outside photos, you talked about French doors, correct?
Yes.
Can you see the French doors there?
Yes. So past the dining room, you'll see the dining room table and chairs, and then beyond that is the interior side of those French doors.
Slide 55. Recognize that?
So they-
What's that?
So that's a photograph of me standing in the foyer, looking down into the, to step down into the living room area I was just discussing. There's an end table there with a lime green lighter and then a blue lighter on the floor. 9 and 10.
I'm sorry, can I have slide 56?
What's you?
Do you recognize what's in that photo?
Yes.
What are we looking at?
So that's the two lighters I was just referring to. Item number 9 is the green, and then item number 10 is the blue.
Look forward to show you what's been marked as S-57 first. Identification. Do you recognize that?
Yes.
And what does that show?
So that's the lime green Bic lighter with my case number and evidence item number.
Okay. And S-158, do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay, what's that?
The blue Bic lighter.
Okay.
Again, case number and evidence number.
And S-157, S-158, are these the actual items that we saw in those photos?
Yes.
Slide 50. Sorry, sorry about that. I'm almost done. I have slide 57. Now, fair to say you continued documentation efforts of 27 Tilton.
That's correct. My responsibilities on a scene like this is not only to locate evidence, it's also just to document any damage or the extent of damage.
And in slide 57, do you see damage?
Yes.
Okay, and where is it?
It's going to be against the primarily fire damage straight ahead in that window there directly above the basement window well. You'll also see sheetrock pulled down from the ceiling and on the exterior, the walls. Yeah, the exterior wall to your right.
Slide 58, please. What are we looking at there?
That's closer to the window. There's a desk there. You will see through that window the rear yard.
Okay, and 59, please. Same
That's
photo closer up.
Same photo closer up. Now this is me panning up towards the ceiling. You'll see again the deck on the outside to your left, trampoline, and then the neighbor's yard directly behind.
Now, slide 60, please. What do we see here?
Pretty much from the same spot, just turn now north towards the dining room.
Slide 61. What do we see here?
That's just the kitchen area, and that was located just beyond the dining room. Talking about doors before, that's just past the stove is the sliding glass door that leads from the kitchen to the back deck.
Okay. That would be the second, looking left to right of that photo before, that would be the middle entrance to the rear of the home.
It would be, yes. And then straight ahead, you'll see that white laundry basket. That's the mudroom area,
And beyond the mudroom is what?
the garage.
Now, at some point in time, did you go upstairs?
Yes.
Okay, how did you go upstairs?
Above the basement stairwell is the stairwell to the second floor, so I use that.
Did you visually and otherwise document the rooms that you found upstairs?
Yes.
And what types of rooms were generally upstairs?
There were four bedrooms and 2 full baths.
I have slide 65. Showing getting upstairs, obviously.
Yes.
When you go up there, can you start left and tell us what you found?
Sure. At the top of the stairs, immediately to your left, is a bedroom that was identified as Mr. Caneiro's bedroom. Straight ahead was a bedroom for one of his adult daughters. I believe it was Marissa's. To the right of that is another daughter's bedroom. And then if you go down that, where that railing is a hallway backward. So you would be going now south. And to your left would be a full bath. And then you would enter the master suite area, which contains a full bathroom, walk-in closet, and bedroom.
So just quickly, slide 66. What do we see here?
That would be Mr. Caneiro's bedroom.
Was that the first bedroom to the left?
Yes.
Okay. And can I have slide 70, please? What is that?
That would be, I believe that was Marissa's bedroom.
Slide 71.
Caitlin's bedroom?
And this bedroom here, this is the third one we've looked at, correct?
At this particular point, it would be the third one.
And this one, the third one, is it on the front side of the house or the back side?
It's going to be at the the northeast corner, backside.
And then you said there was a bathroom next to this one?
Yes.
And then we went to the master area.
Yes.
Next slide, 72. You recognize that?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
That would be the master bedroom area.
Okay. And slide 73. What do we see in that photo?
That would be the damage and the walk-in closet in that bedroom.
The walk-in closet, as it relates to the bedroom, is the walk-in closet on the back side of the house?
Yes, it would be. It would actually be on the the southeast corner, directly in line with the bedroom, basement window well, that living room where we saw the picture of the window that's straight up.
Okay. Slide 74. Does that assist you in discussing the layout of the master?
Yes.
Okay, could you just explain what we got there?
So on the right-hand side of the picture is the walk-in closet. Straight back, you'll see the two doors that are partially open, almost all the way open. You'll see a mirror to the left. To the left of that is an entrance to the master bath. And then continuing to the left is the hallway, entrance to the hallway.
Now, is there any damage to the ceiling in that photograph?
Yes.
And then slide 75. What do you see there?
That you can see sky. That would be a hole through the roof.
Is that in the area of the master bedroom?
Yes.
Just quickly, slide 76. What's that?
That would be the master bedroom.
Now, you talked about earlier how you gave the DVR to Captain or Detective Weisbrot at the time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And ultimately, did you respond to Ocean Township Police Department?
Yes, I did.
And was there a point in time when you were at the Ocean Township Police Department that you learned something that was kind of significant to that investigation thus far?
Yes.
And what was that?
That the Colts Neck Police Department and Fire Department responded to 15 Willowbrook for a reported structure fire with at least one person deceased on the front lawn.
Now, during the course of your time at the Ocean Police Department, were you asked to photographically document anything?
Yes.
And what were you asked to take pictures of?
Specifically of Mr. Caneiro, his left hand. It was reported that he had an injury to it, so I was asked to photograph it.
Can I have slide 128? Sorry. You recognize that photo?
Yes.
What's the photo show?
Mr. Paul Caneiro
And where was that taken?
at the Ocean Township Police Department.
Can I show you slide 129? You recognize that?
Yes.
What's that show?
So that's a photograph of the back of Mr. Caneiro's right and left hands.
I have slide 130.
So this is a close-up photograph of Mr. Caneiro's right and left hands.
Slide 131. What's that?
That's focusing on Mr. Caneiro's left hand, the backside of it.
That's slide 132, sorry. You recognize that?
Yes, part of documenting any potential injuries is doing somewhat of a physical exam. And then it was me photographing. This is what I observed to be bruising on his abdomen.
And slide 133. What's that?
Again, like a small abrasion to the back side of his left arm.
Slide 134.
That's just a close-up photograph of that abrasion.
Now, the next day, Wednesday,
I'm going to stop you here before we go into the next day. Can we turn the lights back on? You guys are thinking to yourself, we got a second break, but maybe we stayed almost 5 o'clock. Isn't that what you guys are thinking? Nobody? You're welcome. Yeah. So we're done for today. I can't say if you were right or wrong on why I gave you the second break. I'm just going to leave it out there for you guys to think about and ponder this evening. But I hope you guys have a wonderful night. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, so 8 o'clock. We'll be on the record right at 8:30. We keep moving along. Thank you so much for being attentive today. Don't discuss this case. Don't do any research. And what we're going to do is when we bring you downstairs, Amor is just going to confirm with you. Just make sure we have all your phone numbers and everything, just in case there's an issue on Monday. Amor and my staff will be calling you directly, so we might as well just do that now so we don't forget. So we'll do today and tomorrow morning if we can do that. Thank you. So you guys have a good night. Be safe.
Okay, Judge Lemieux preparing for the winter storm that's expected to hit the East Coast starting on Friday. It's supposed to be horrendous with lots of snow, and we may have some closings on Monday. Court would be one of them. Usually government offices, county offices all closed, get people off the road. When we have really bad weather like that, they got to clean the roads of the snow, do the parking lots, and keep people safe. Oh, what? Wow, let's talk about what a day. What a day, what a day. This afternoon, we finished with Captain Brian Weisbrot, who had a lot of information in regards to the DVR, the camera systems, and more physical evidence against Paul Caneiro in this case. And Lieutenant Nicholas Cattelona took the stand, and now there's just so much more. They did do quite an investigation, and there's a lot here. We didn't get to see a lot of this evidence or hear about it. This was a closed evidence, not available for the public or anything, as it should be for a fair trial. So we're all seeing it at the same time. And the hill, in my humble opinion, keeps getting taller as far as trying to put a little wedge in here about innocence for
Anything we need to
Paul Caneiro.
to discuss? I have one thing, but asking you all first.
I just think we did talk a little bit about the dynamics for the week.
Come on up. It's the exact same topic I was going to discuss.
And of course, we're going to close out the day with another sidebar. I can't wait to see what you guys think of all of this evidence. I'm also really looking forward to my weekly recap with Trial Live TV. I will put it on the community tab. I hope some of you will join us over there or watch after. It is a great discussion, speaking with the squeegee of justice, Chris, and the lively chat there. Are all very invested, true crime junkies for sure. They keep it respectful. They keep it to the facts. You know, we keep our opinions and we speculate, but we really want to talk about all this evidence that came out so far this week. Those recaps will be on Friday after court. I'm looking forward to going over it. There was a lot today. We really see how the New Jersey Supreme Court ruling allowing the DVR really affected this case, because it completely secures a timeline for the prosecution. It adds valuable evidence in timeline securing for the opportunity for Paul Caneiro to actually commit these crimes. We heard earlier in the morning on my previous video, we spoke about the expert testimony of the estate attorney. We also heard from the 911 caller, and that's when they started the testimony of Captain Brian Weisbrot. Tomorrow we will continue with Lieutenant Nicholas Cattelona. That will be still in the hands of the prosecution, Christopher Decker. It seems like there is still more physical evidence to put before the jury. You can see why they were saying that this case would be until March 20th, the way it's rolling out. There's still so much we haven't gone into. Just imagine what it's going to be like when we get to the DNA evidence and the back and forth with prosecution and the defense team. These were hotly contested issues: ballistics, arson, and DNA. The DVR also. We're going to still see some fireworks back and forth, I'm sure. It's still my opinion that the mountain that needs to be climbed is getting higher for the defense. The more physical evidence that gets put in front of the jury, the more difficult it becomes. Speculation is now becoming just a story they want to tell. It'll be interesting to see when it's their turn if they're able to back it up with any evidence to knock a lot of this down. So, but then again, it's all up to the jury. And, well, we don't know how they're looking at it. Sometimes they surprise us. I don't know. It's hard to tell how they're accepting it, but I do appreciate how this Judge Lemieux, is very thoughtful of the jury in their time. And I'm surprised he let it go this long today, but it was important to get physical evidence out, and he didn't want to interrupt it. Well, gave them that second break, and they ran with it as far as the prosecution team goes. So tomorrow is going to be another day. Hopefully, we'll see what he has to say after they come out of sidebar. He doesn't often tell us. Sometimes he says it's scheduling. Sometimes he tells us what happened. We'll see. I'm sure they're going over what they're presenting tomorrow and how much time is needed, what arrangements need to be made. They also need a backup plan in case there is no court on Monday.
All right, we just went over some.
Still on the record? Go back on?
Sure, go ahead.
You want me to put the live stream on too?
Sure.
Hold on, give me a second.
We were just going over some scheduling with the attorneys for the rest of the week. We will continue on, and tomorrow we'll continue on with Lieutenant Cattelona. So I hope everybody has a good night. Please be safe, and I will see everybody tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. If anyone needs anything, we can get on the record. If not, we'll start right at 8:30. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, that was a really long sidebar. It was about scheduling for the week. I guess preparing for the definite snowstorm that's going to hit the East Coast. I mean, he's gathering phone numbers and such and going over witness testimony. So we shall see. We're going to start at regular time tomorrow. But for that, I'm going to call it. Can't wait to see what you say in the comments about this testimony today. Everybody have a great night. See you again in the morning.